right. Well, welcome to another edition of Lunch Bites with Coach Dana. And I love to use these just as an opportunity to answer questions or talk a little bit off the cuff about something that maybe I've seen on Facebook or was discussed in the group or something that just might be top of mind. Okay. In general, I'm just going to free flow talk and kind of see where we go with it. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about meal plans. I get this question a lot. It actually has come up at least three times in the past week, just in different interactions with clients or people in general. And the question I get regarding meal plans is, hey, do you do meal plans? And what do you think about meal plans? So here's my thought on meal plans. In theory, right? In theory, knowing what to eat, when to eat, um, can feel like a relief. It takes a hurdle away when we are consumed by all of the things that we have to check off day after day after day. And I feel like meal plans can be um, something to use for perhaps very short and very specific periods of time. Here's why I don't think meal plans are the answer for you. And this is also why in any of my coaching, I do not provide specific meal plans. Now, that doesn't mean I don't give you guidelines and we don't talk through what's optimal to eat and which things might be we want to eat in moderation. But listen, we all have very different dietary tastes, different dietary needs, different foods and things that we love to eat, cultural things. There's so much around food. And for me, laying out 3 meals a day and 2 snacks that you need to eat every single day, or, here's a 5-day meal plan, um, that's not teaching you anything, right? It's simply not helping you create habits around your nutrition that are going to help you sustain the changes long term. Following a meal plan tends to create dependency on a meal plan. I have seen this in action, and I think it's important for people to understand the theory of why, again, me handing you or a coach handing you a 5-day or a 30-day meal plan for you to follow, which might help you lose fat. It might help you get you back on track. But what happens when you pull that meal plan away? Have you learned anything? Have you learned anything about portions? Have you learned anything about proteins, fats, and carbohydrates? Have you learned anything about eating to 80% full? Have you, learned about portion control? So that is why I don't utilize meal plans. Now, nutrition guidance and meal guidance is something that we cover quite a bit here in the group and in my coaching program. So, what does that mean? Well, for instance, if you were here in the beginning of the year and we did our New Year, New You challenge, we talked about protein one of the days. The big thing was protein. And we talked about eating 20 to 25 grams of protein for breakfast or before 10 a.m. So, this is where then we start to plan our meals around that. So, if our typical meal for breakfast has been a bowl of cereal, okay, and maybe a piece of fruit, maybe that feels okay to you. What I would say is, all right, let's look at that. And how can we work around this to get protein in that meal? Can we look at a high protein cereal? Can we have, less cereal and some kind of protein shake with it? Where can we start to cultivate a plan to follow that you can work with the things that you love to eat. So I find with most people that protein is a great place to start. Hydration is a great place to start. Fruits and veggies, adding those into your day are a great place to start. One thing you guys can do is to go back to days 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of that New Year, New You challenge and go through those videos. That can get you guys started on getting yourself on track and staying on track. Go over the 5 things that we kind of worked on during that week and see how you can implement them in your daily life consistently before you add anything else. Like, can you consistently hit 20 to 25 grams of protein in the morning 90% of the time? Start with one thing. I know that this makes the progress come more slowly, but I can assure you that it's not going to feel like you're hopping on and you're hopping off and you're hopping on and you're hopping off, because those extremes are not going to happen. They're just not. You know, you'll be humming along and having a lot of consistent days, and maybe one day you sort of fall off plan or whatever. You wake up the next day and you're back on it. But you're not going to get yourself in a situation where you're so hardcore for 2 or 3 weeks and then you're like, I can't do this. I can't maintain this rigidity. I can't maintain this this plan, this food. I can't eat any more chicken breast, which happens a lot. So that's kind of my thought on meal plans and my justification of why, as a coach, I don't typically program them into our client schedules. So, do you guys have questions on that? If you do, I would love for you to drop your question in the comments. Of course, you can always PM me. I do love when people post questions, because chances are if you have the question, somebody else has the question as well. And I love to utilize the power of the group. So again, check out those days 1 through 5 of the New Year, New You challenge. They're up on my YouTube page as well. It's easier to find there if you want to navigate there instead. I'll drop a link in the comments here. But that is all I have today. Thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up if you guys watch this, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.